Live from Torino, io sono Coffee Break Tennis.
Io in realtà non sono sindaco, sono Ludovico, devo andare ora. Scusami. Scusate, devo sbagliare. Oh, Luca, la traccia! Abbiamo salutato questo è Ludovico. Ciao Ludovico, ti voglio trovare.
What are teenagers doing today? They're trying every thrill there is in the books. We got colored TV, but it still isn't satisfying.
That's right, we're live from Torino. It's not a joke. I'm really on a balcony in Torino right now. I mean, if you don't believe me, then how the hell would I have a copy of yesterday's edition of Tutto Sporto? Huh? With previewing the match that Tsitsipas was supposed to win against Andrei Rublev. Of course he didn't. We'll talk about that. Next up, if I'm not really in Italy, why am I drinking authentic Prosecco? You know Prosecco. It's like champagne, except instead of from France, it's from Italia. And it pops just the same. Whew. That flew a lot further than I thought it would. In Italy, I gotta tell you, my experience in France, La Francia, it was really nice. Italy, I don't know what I like better. Probably France. I like Italy a lot, though. I love Italy. I shouldn't say that. But in Italy, I tell you, everything is small. The cars are small. The bottles of Prosecco, very small. Some of the people, kind of small. The toilet paper, extremely small. Take a look at this. I got a clip of you from the bathroom. Don't worry, no shot of the toilet. Il bagno with a G. That's how they say it here in Italia. Tiny toilet paper. You see that? But despite the tiny toilet paper, in Italy, all the American asses are still gigantic, just like in Les États-Unis. Tiny glass for the Prosecco. Very excited to be here, if you can't tell. It's quite an experience. The tennis, excellent. Got to see Djokovic up close and personal. And of course, that Tsitsipas and Rublev match from Tutto Sporto last night. Very interesting match. We'll talk about all of that in today's show. But first, we got to talk about the big story. It's so tiny, but it's so good. We got to talk about the big story. And of course, that's Novak Djokovic proving to the whole world that he's still number one. Now, let's take a look at the rankings. He's not number one. Carlitos way, Alcaraz. He is still, where's my rankings? This isn't the rankings. Mr. Goat, pull up the rankings. Mr. Goat came also. Just kidding, Mr. Goat's not here. He's back home freezing. Do you know, I thought it'd be so cold in northern Italy, in Milano, in Torino, of course, where I am. But it's actually more cold back in Atlanta, Georgia. It's freezing. Mr. Goat has been put in this goat cave to keep his warmth up. Anyways, no, I'm actually here traveling with my good friend Dina. We're gonna play on red clay courts tomorrow. Very excited about that. And of course, we've been here watching the tennis and it's been very exciting. Anyways, the main story, like I was saying, is Novak Djokovic. So I'll have to do this myself. Mr. Goat, my assistant, is not here, the talking tennis cat, to pull up the ATP rankings. Here it is. So Carlos Alcaraz, Carlitos, he's ahead 68-20. My audio's still working. Mr. Goat usually monitors the audio. It's good. We're good. Carlos Alcaraz, 68-20 points. Rafa just behind by exactly 1,000. Look at that age gap, though. Big gap in the age. Not so big in the rankings. 1,000 points. It's a Masters. Tsitsipas right there. Whew, Tsitsipas. We got to talk about Tsitsipas. In fact, forget everything. Forget the big story. Maybe the big story is not about Djokovic reclaiming his top spot in the world. Obviously, he can't do that officially in the rankings, but I think it's more about beating everyone. Like, why yesterday did he have to beat Medvedev? You know? We've seen in the past. I remember when Dominic Thiem a few years ago was in a similar position, 2-0 up, and I think he played, and I can't remember, but for whatever reason, it looked like he was trying to win, and then he kind of gave up, I want to say. In the past, we've seen guys not play the third match, just totally skip it, let one of those alternates get in. I think this year, no alternates. Last year, Yannick Sinner got in as an alternate, got a chance to play in Italy, making one of my predictions come true that he would be there for the first year, going from the next gen in Italy, straight to the actual ATP Finals in Torino, where we are now. But no, I don't think any alternates got in this year. No, not the case. And maybe they were hoping Djokovic would skip that match, but he didn't. And then he has the health scare. We'll talk about that in a moment. The hand was shaking. I'm sure you...
Some of the very unusual struggles of Djokovic. All eyes on Novak Djokovic.
You saw that clip out there. All that stuff. Why did he play so hard against Medvedev? If you asked Djokovic, which they did, they said, do you ever think about quitting the match? And he said, not for one moment, because this is one of my biggest rivals. Which is, I mean, if you hate Djokovic, okay, per favore to you, spiacente to you. I don't know which one. My Italian's so bad. I'm so desperate here with the Italian that when they don't speak English, the next thing I say is, tu parles français? Which I got to be careful of, because if you don't use the vous form, sometimes people get angry. But they don't speak French here. I don't think they even like the French here, so that hasn't worked out well for me. No one's speaking German here. Anyways, with the health scare and everything, why did Djokovic try so hard? I mean, he fought to the death, right? Rafa said, I'm going to try to do my best to get my best tennis back next year. I don't know if it's possible, but I will die trying, right? Rafa said he'll die. Well, Djokovic literally was dying trying to beat Medvedev yesterday, and of course, he prevailed. Why is he trying so hard? I think he's here to prove to everyone, you don't let me play Australian Open, you don't let me play US Open, you give me no points for winning Wimbledon. So I'm going to come here and play the top 8 players of the year, and I'm going to beat all of them, even if I don't have to go to the stupid semifinals. And I think he wants that #1 ranking back. Remember, you get 200 points every time you win a round-robin stage match. So it's keep stacking up those 200 points, win the whole thing after he beat down Taylor Fritzy boy. Oh, come on. Did anyone think he had a chance? Oh, I know I'm going off on tangents. I can't stick to any one topic. But I'm in a bar. We didn't get the tickets today to go to the semifinal. We were gonna, but then we saw, it's Taylor Fritz. Okay, we saw Medvedev and Djokovic yesterday. Why are we gonna spend the money to go see Taylor Fritzy boy and Djokovic? So we watch it in an authentic Italiano sports bar, which, by the way, going off on another tangent, you walk down the street, you go to the bars, sports bars, type it into Google, You go in, oh, this is a rugby bar. Oh, this is a soccer, football bar. No, tennis bar. And then somehow, just by chance, we find the one bar that says all sports welcome out front. I'm not even kidding. The Huntsman? If you're in Torino, go to the Huntsman, because they don't discriminate against the tennis fans there. They had the tennis on. We saw Taylor Fritz, and I noticed something. A lot of Italians were rooting for Taylor Fritz. They really wanted Taylor Fritz to win. And I don't think it's because they love Taylor Fritz, like he's some kind of international star. I don't think that's the case at all. I think they don't like Djokovic. So then I started thinking, do Italians not like Djokovic? I mean, in the stadium yesterday, they were pulling, it's hard to tell when they're just pulling for Medvedev to win a set, to keep it going, because didn't Djokovic win the first set? I can't even remember now. I think Djokovic won the first set, or was it straight sets? God, no, it was 3 sets with a tiebreak in the third. Tiebreak in the second, Medvedev wins. That's what happened yesterday. It's all a blur to me. It's been nonstop action here, still jet lagged like crazy, but having a great time in Italia. But yeah, so they're rooting for Medvedev to win that second set to get a third set, of course. But at times, it felt like maybe they don't like Djokovic a little bit. So I see some Italian people in the sports bar. They're all rooting. So these people leave. By the second set, there's a new group of Italian people sitting next to me. And then I think okay, how do you say? I know voi siete, you are in Italian. I'm okay, parlez. So I was siete, leggete is read. It's got to be parlette, because it's always kind of close to France, right? The Italian words, it's like Spanish and French mixed. To me, the amateur linguist. But anyways, that's what I think. So I said, how about voi parlette? And then inglés, right? This is like Spanish, it's got to be close. It turns out it's inglese. Anyway, so I say voi parlette inglese. Unfortunately, the guy doesn't speak English, but his girlfriend next to him speaks English. So he says she does, and she says, what's your question? And I say, do Italians not like Djokovic? And then they said, no, it's not that, it's mixed. They said, some people don't like his attitude. They don't like the thing with the vaccine, but some people do like it. It's kind of 50-50. And then it hit me, Matt, oh my God, what an idiot. It's not that Italians don't like Djokovic, it's that Italians are like everyone else around the world, very divided and split by the very polarizing Djokovic. He's the love him or hate him of tennis. So anyways, that was my observation of local culture here in Torino. Let me put this back in the ragged bag. Don't want to lose it, could fall off the balcony. There's many banditos, pickpockets, banditos. They're all over Italy, especially in Roma. Stay the hell away from Roma. watch your pocket when you're in Roma. Keep your hands in your pockets, right on your wallet. But I love the Italian people. Those are just some. You know, it's like with Djokovic fans. You know, some people here don't like Djokovic, some people like him. Some people in Italy will pick your pocket, some people won't. All right, anyways, so what's going on with Djokovic? Forget about Tsitsipas. He's kind of a jerk now. That's what it appears to be. He insulted, did you see it? You didn't see it? Play the clip, play the clip. No, we don't have a clip. Look at the picture. No, do we have a clip? I don't have a clip. Okay, forget the clip. He says, I'm the better player. I mean, obviously. I'm paraphrasing from memory, but he definitely said, I mean, it's obvious, after he said, I'm the better player than Rublev. And then he said, Rublev was able to win with the few tools he has. Now, I have this post. I don't have it on me, actually, but I'll paraphrase. I'll put it on the screen. You'll see exactly what the hell Tsitsipas said, and I'll paraphrase it for you. But let me get some more of this Prosecco. Tutti frutti tutto sporto. E bone. Something like that. Anyway, e bon, c'est bon. That's French. Scheiße. Anyways, he says, you haters want to hate, just be patient. I'll give you more stuff to hate on. And then there was a very thoughtful comment, put it on the screen. Can't remember what he says, but it's something along the lines of, look, people have a legitimate reason. You insulted Rublev. Didn't give him any credit. Think of Rafa. What would Rafa said if he lost to Rublev? What if Rafa lost to 1,000 in the world? Do you think Rafa would say, obviously I'm much better than 1,000 in the world? Of course not. Maybe he thinks it. I mean, obviously he's very confident, but no one would say that. Tsitsipas is young. Maybe we give him a pass, but this isn't the first time he does something like this. So this comment from a fan of Tsitsipas says, it's a legitimate reason to be critical of you the way you're behaving, right, Tsitsipas? Because you insult him and say he has no weapons, no tools. The few tools he has. He says Rublev was able to win with the few tools he has. When they asked Rublev about it, he was very classy, and he basically said something along the lines of, I don't know about tools, but if we go shot for shot, his backhand is better than mine. Oh, by the way, and I don't know if you can hear that, but in Italy, they honk the horn like crazy. All the time, you hear honking, and you hear ambulances going by. No police. I don't see the polizei. Not driving, at least. I don't see them flashing their lights and pulling people over. Like in America, they're pulling people over left and right. Anyways, so he says, my forehand, he didn't say my forehand's better. Like Tsitsipas would have said, obviously my forehand's better. But Rublev said, my forehand, Tsitsipas is not necessarily better than mine. His backhand is. His serve is not more power than mine. We hit same speed. And movement, yeah, he's a faster mover than I am. Rublev seems like a super nice guy. They asked him what he thought about playing Casper Ruud. That's coming up tonight. We're not going to get to talk about that because I'm not going to stay up. You know, they play at 9 p.m. They start at 9 p.m. here. It's crazy. I'm not staying up that late, making videos at midnight. You got to be kidding me. Anyways, let's get quick prediction. Dino, you out there? Prediction. Who wins? Casper Ruud? Rublev. All right, so Rublev. Oof, I'm really loud. The audio monitor is exploding. At least I'll be louder than the crazy Italians. Not in a good way, because we love the Italians. Honking the horns like crazy out here. Also, man, I was watching an Italian guy on a train, and he's in the next cart, so I can't hear him. All I can do is watch his hands. He laughed. And then he grabbed his crotch at one point. Like, Then he's laughing. Then he looks very serious with this. He's just having a conversation, probably with a stranger. I don't think he even knew this guy. And his hands are from here to there, the full range of motion. We love Italians. They're so great, except for the pickpockets. That's enough about Tsitsipas. He's just going down further and further. When did it start? 2020. Oh, one more thing. He hits the ball, you know, with that volley. It's like a feed. It's the feeding grip. It's a volley grip, but you smack it like a flat, old-fashioned Johnny Mac forehand. He smacked it like a feed right at his box. It hits the advertising below, but his parents, they're like, oh my God. And Jim Courier, this guy's freaking delusional. What the hell is he talking about? Do we have a clip of Jim Courier? If we have a clip, roll the clip. If we don't have a clip, I'll paraphrase for you. But Jim Courier said, hey, Jim Courier here. Basically, what my takeaway from the match, Andy Roddick, is I'm coming from a deep place of empathy for Tsitsipas, because his parents, they're really not helping him. We know he's not asking to be coached, but they keep giving the unsolicited advice. I'm Jim Courier here, best broadcaster in the world. Right? This is kind of like Jim Courier. That's how he talks. Basically, that's Elliot Loney's. That's me doing Nick Kyrgios's best pal, Nick and Cawkey's best pal, Elliot Loney, the comedian / tennis player, amateur tennis player from Australia. That's his impression of Jim Courier. That's me doing an impression of him doing an impression of Jim Courier. Anyways, What the hell is Jim Courier thinking? Like, is Tsitsipas, Dina, how old is Tsitsipas? 24. 24? And he's a victim? We have empathy for this victim? He can fire his parents, can he? Can he tell him to get out? Can he ignore it? Do you think Rafa, got mad at something Uncle Tony was yelling at him ever? I don't know. But hitting the ball, making the parents, they jump for their life, that's not a good look. And it started for me when I started not liking Tsitsipas so much. I know you're going to say the bathroom, right? The bathroom incident, which I can't say the horrible name that people call him regarding the bathroom incident. I can't say it. It rhymes with, in German it's Scheißepass. That's as close as I'll get. Anyways, it's not that for me. No, it's 2020, the fake US Open, where Djokovic hits the ball lady in the throat. Rafa doesn't play. Roger couldn't have played even if he wanted to. We didn't know back then, but his knee was gone forever. By the way, we're not talking about Federer. I'm not ready to do it. I just can't handle it. Maybe next Wimbledon, I'll release my Roger Federer retirement song. I'm not 100% convinced he's not coming back. He might play Wimbledon. If he doesn't play Wimbledon in 2023, is that the next year? Dina, what year is it? Is 2023 next year? Yes. If Roger doesn't come back for the 2023 Wimbledons, then I'll finally talk about it. But until then, I don't believe it. I don't accept it. I'm in denial. We're not going to talk about it ever again. No more. Except one thing. Take a look at this. Roger Federer sure wished he could play here. He's so fast. Why do you think Taylor Fritz beat Felix? Well, Felix, maybe mentally, we can't trust him with a big match, can we? We really can't. Not in that third set. Not when it's crunch time. He's not Rafa. He sure is not the Rafa. His serve is kind of slicey like Rafa, but he's not Rafa in the head. In la cabeza. How do they say it here? I don't know. Anyways, if you can tell, we're having so much fun in Italia. Felix, how did he lose? I think it's mental, but also why is Fritz doing well here? Well, Fritz has a great serve. Fritz is a much better server. You know, watching him play against Djokovic today, it was like a John Isner match, right? You know that Fritz is going to hold, and maybe we'll get 2 tie breaks, maybe we won't, but you know Joker's going to find a way. He's either going to find a break somewhere, or if he does get broken, he's going to find a way to break back. John Isner, I don't care how big the serve is, any of them, in a tie break, he's going to find the mini breaks. He's always going to find a way. So Fritz, you watch him, he moves a lot better than John Isner, obviously. I don't know if he returns a whole lot better. I mean, he must. John Isner's like one of the worst returners on tour. Great groundies. He's moving better than ever. You know, he made a lot of strides. This has been a great year for Fritz, but no chance he was ever going to beat Djokovic here. And the court is so fast. Take a look at this. This is what Roger Federer said. I know it's from last year, but last year's fast. This year, it seems even faster. Super fast court. Medvedev likes it. Djokovic likes it. Rafa maybe didn't like it so much this year. I guess we talk a little bit about Rafa. Let's talk a little bit about Rafa, and then how long are we going here? We've been rolling forever. I don't want to make this show too long, because I want to go out. I go back to Roma tomorrow. Going to play on clay for the first time, red clay. I've played on the green clay in America. It's not so great. But me and Dina's a good 4-0. 4-0, right? Yes. But 4-0, borderline 4-5. Of course, we know me. I'm a 5-0, borderline 6-0. Oh my God, speaking of that, speaking of the level, take a level of the local Italians. Let's take a look at some of these servers. Oh!
Che coda?
These guys are in the serve booth. Nobody can hit over like 60 miles an hour on the serve. And then finally, La Donna. La Donna, this very sexy Italian lady, La Donna, she comes up to serve. And take a listen. I give her some advice. Then she hits, as Djokovic would say, big bomb. big bomb after I tell her how to use her legs and her hips to get more power in the serve. Take a look for yourself. More legs, more legs. And hips. No, don't be scared. And I can guarantee you, all the men, ye uomini, they're very forward with the women here. Not in like a bad way, not like in America where you get scared of them, you know. But they're forward here, and they're all watching LaDonna. LaDonna, when she hits the serves, all the men are staring. Me, I'm only looking because for Coffee Break Tennis, I have to get the video to show the fans of tennis around the world. Otherwise, I see a beautiful women all the time. It's nothing special to me, as Rafa Nadal would say. I hardly notice. Just doing my job. I don't have video of when I went up to hit a serve, but it was 200 kilometer and it broke the speed gun. No one hit a ball that fast. Everyone's like 120 kilometers tops. I hit 200 kilometer serve, the speed gun stops working. No one gets to hit the serve for the rest of the night. So sorry, Italians. Anyways, moving on. So take a look at these rankings, because Djokovic is fighting his way. By the way, we're going to wrap the show up with, I'm going to show you some clips from the matches yesterday. I got very good clips of the tennis, and I'm going to talk over some of these clips, and hopefully the Bastardo Morietta don't pull the video down on YouTube. I don't know who's running it. Maybe it's not Italians. It's ATP. You know, they're all kinds of Europeans together. Anyways, we love the Europeans, by the way. Even the ATP ones who try to block the videos. Carlos Alcaraz, ahead by 1,000 of Rafa. Tsitsipas. Tsitsipas, 5-3, 5-0. Tsitsipas is the true bullshit Russian. He really is by now. Especially after what he did to a true Russian like Rublev, Mr. Nice Guy. Medvedev, they're at 4,000. Let's, all right, forget these guys. Djokovic is here to prove that he's still the tops. He can beat everyone, and he wants those points. He's at 33-20. If he wins it all here, he gets 1,500 because he went undefeated so far. So that puts him at 48-20. Give him the points. 2,068-20. Am I right? Am I doing the math right? So he wins it here, and he counts. He knows he's tied with Alcaraz. And if they let him go, lose second round at the Aussie or second round at the US Open, he's ahead of Alcaraz. Think about it. So Djokovic, he's here to prove he's the true number one. In his mind, he's got to say, I have 2,000 points for Wimbledon. At some point, they're going to give it to me. We hope. I don't know. I'm not sure. Comment below if you know how that's going to work. He might have to win it again next year, but who's going to stop him? You know, I'm sure some people are wondering, Matt, why do you like Djokovic so much now? One, I'm a big three fan till the end. Roger maybe is gone. We won't say anything else about Roger after that, because I don't believe he's fully gone, but maybe he's gone. Okay, we'll acknowledge it is a possibility. Rafa, he's going to die trying to get back, but even he doesn't know. We don't know if Rafa's going to be back. I think he can win the French Open next year. Is he going to win the next year when me and Rafa are getting closer to 40? I don't know. We're 36 now, me and Rafa. We have almost the same birthday. Very, very proud of that myself, I may say. Anyways, so we got Djokovic now. So if you love the big three, you got to pull for Djokovic at this point. Even it's like an extension. Why is Djokovic the player he is today? Because of Roger and Rafa. They made him better every step of the way his whole career. So when Djoker wins, in my mind, Roger and Rafa win, because Djoker isn't Djoker without Roger and Rafa. Djoker beats all of these next-gen bozos because he is such a great player because of his experiences with Roger and Rafa. I like Medvedev a lot. I really respect him. I think Djokovic really respects him. Obviously, he put a lot of effort into that match to beat him last night. Did we play the clip of the handshaking and everything? I don't think we did. Take a look. Djokovic was really messed up. And don't worry if you're a big Joker fan out there. Don't worry too much about him. Don't worry too much about Rafa. I think Rafa's going to be back and is going to be good next year. He won 2 majors this year. I mean, what do you expect? But the thing with Roger, with Djoker, and a friend, a former top-level doubles player that I was lucky enough to have lunch with once. I shouldn't say a friend. We were very friendly that day. He told me that Djoker's diet is so restrictive that when they give him that magic potion drink, that gets him, I think it basically comes down to like a blood sugar level, right? Glucose, whatever you call it in Europe, I don't know. I think it comes down to something like that. So I wouldn't worry too much about Djoker. But I know the other side has to think that Djoker is pretending and making distractions for everyone else. I don't know about that either. I think Djoker's diet, it's not just gluten-free, it's everything free. It's todos free. It's alles free. It's, I can't remember in French, all kinds of stuff Djoko won't eat. I mean, I think there was a phase where he didn't even eat meat. I think he eats meat now, but he's mostly plant-based, I want to say. So you can all of a sudden be very dizzy and lightheaded and feel your body can be kind of messed up when you haven't had the right stuff in your body. So they make him the magic drink. He's going to be fine, but still, take a look. The hand's shaking, and then obviously he wins after that incredible match point. I've got the clip from my view of the stadium. We'll look at that in a moment. And that's how we'll wrap up the show today. But I think Djoker's here to prove that he's still the best. I'm going to pull for him because, to me, he represents the big three. And then who are you going to pick? Looking at these top guys. You know, I like Alcaraz. Is he going to be like the next Rafa? I don't think so. I don't believe any of these guys are going to give us what we've had from the big three. So I want to enjoy every moment I can milk out of the big three experience, even if I have to go through my former enemy, Novak Djokovic. All right, that about wraps it up for this portion of the show. I'm going to go inside, into the booth, look at the footage from yesterday, and talk over some of my favorite clips, some observations I made from Tsitsipas Rublev and Djokovic Medvedev. Great matches yesterday, much better than the matches today. Okay, into the video booth we go, and this first point, it's for the Djokovic haters out there to show you he's a nice guy. The racket comes flying out of his hand. The ball kid's gonna pick it up. No, 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 waggles the finger of Novak. I'll do that. You don't have to do that. I'm Novak Djokovic, Mr. Nice Guy. Here's just a great point. Just look at the movement from both of these guys. Oof, the sliding forehand. Inside out. Hitting that corner again. I mean, they both defend equally well. You know, they always say, like, you could attack Roger on the forehand side, even Rafa, because they don't defend as well there. Well, these guys, they defend equally well in both corners. Shh, shh, crowd is oohing on. This was one of those matches where you always thought, surely that's a winner. That one was. Give me more, says Djokovic. Give me more from the crowd. Maybe they like him in Italy. I don't know. All right, next up, this is just another amazing point. And at this point, I'm thinking, like, this is like watching two Djokovic's play each other. You know, Djoker's better mentally. Medvedev's got a bigger serve. Djokovic aims his serve better now. He's kind of Roger-like in that regard. Love seeing him defend out wide on the forehand on the run. Better slice from the Joker than Medvedev. That was one thing that stood out. All right, this is where Joker breaks. Medvedev is serving for the match here. 5-4 down. You know Djokovic is going to break back. Of course he does. Nice volley. Back in business. 5-all. All right, this is pretty funny, actually, this one. Check it out. Another nice little drop volley. Out of the stadium. Well, it's in business, but it would have been out of the stadium. And then cut ahead. His shoelace came off, Tsitsipas style. He's holding it up. Still getting the code violation. I think Medvedev thought if he holds up his shoelace, maybe he wouldn't get the code violation.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Medvedev broke the shoelace. He had a reasonable time to fix
the shoelace. Then Djokovic, during this shoelace break, he goes over here and takes a seat in the umpire's chair, in the lines person's chair. Later, he was stretching his legs out. It was a long little break there. All right, let's take a look at what makes Djokovic so special. It's a lot of things, but look at the footwork, the movement from playing the baseline. Little double split step going into the return. Turns his hips so quick to get around. Love that little leg up in the air, Marat Safin style, two-hand backhand. And this split step is not very high. It kind of looks a little floaty, the way he moves around. And this is, if you play tennis, study this footwork, because this is as good as it gets. All right, this is match point. And what a point it was. Oof, sliding the defend on the forehand with a slice. Saw that a lot in the match. Djokovic going big up the line with the backhand, cross court to the forehand, finishes up the line, roars. We saw him struggling earlier. This is how it ended. And of course, today, detail Fritz. Who's he going to play tomorrow? We'll find that out a little bit later tonight. We'll grab another video after it's all over. All right, let's move on. I just got a little bit for you from Rublev and Tsitsipas. Great volley. And this is when Rublev is fighting to oh, sorry, this is not the point of pose. This is showing Tsitsipas' dad up and down in the chair, constantly back and forth. Now, this is where the crowd, at set point, they want to see a third. So just a little, excitement there. They really want a third set. Listen to this. Oh, missed the first serve. Everyone's very sad about that. Can he win it here in the second? Out. The fist to the sky, to the ceiling of the indoor court. Crowd's ready for a third set. But now, later in the match, Tsitsipas is down a break here. This was started by little kids who are too young to understand how big of a jerk Tsitsipas is. That's why they like him. Always get long hair. He looks cool. People get into it. They don't want to see it end so soon. Now, let's watch this point. That's a good cheer for Tsitsipas. Good little chant there. He's all right. What happens next? Goes the deuce. And now people are like, we like Rublev better. Take a listen. That's a louder chant. Anyways, that's all I got for you on the clips. Thanks for joining us today on Coffee Break Tennis. I will try my hardest to get one more video done before I get out of here. Lots of traveling going on, heading back to Rome on a train tomorrow, trying to get on that Foro Italico and play on the clay. Don't know if that's possible, but I'm going to play on red clay somewhere. Damn it. Anyways, hit the music. We're out of here. We will do our best to get back. Otherwise, we'll see you on the other side in the States maybe and wrap it all up for the year. And of course, we'll be back in January going strong for the Australian Open, where you better believe, a little prediction here, Djokovic is going to be going crazy next year. Look to see him try to do what he did last time before things get interrupted and trying to win all four in the same year. Maybe Rafa will be able to stop him and take one more French Open. See you!